Pour yourself a cup of your favorite blend. Amy and Becca are back with more Bitcoin Brew, the show that brings you the hottest Bitcoin news of the week. In anticipation of another game day, Becca and I are wearing our school colors. I'm a grad of the University of Oklahoma. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from here, but I like to claim Arkansas as my home.
A Razorback.
A Razorback.
Ooh, I bet that was fun.
It was fun.
Both of our teams came away with dubs this
know.
weekend. Let's keep that going.
Yes.
And we do have a lot of Aggies on our team, as well as a UT grad
we will not
among
talk
us.
about them.
No, we won't. No, we won't. Just a reminder for those of you, maybe if this is your first show, Becca and I, neither of us went through the financial department at Arkansas or Oklahoma.
We stayed very far away.
we are supported by the TVC, an advocacy group that promotes blockchain, crypto, and Bitcoin innovation in Texas. This week, we saw Bitcoin drop 4.26% and is trading right around $19,000, and the overall crypto market cap dropped below $1 trillion. Today, we're going to talk about some blockchain-friendly politicians, the impact of your lost Bitcoin, 1-year anniversary of the El Salvador Bitcoin adoption, and Voyager's latest bankruptcy developments. Please consider subscribing to our channel and giving this video a like. Let's get started.
So yes, Election Day is November 8th, which is just right around the corner, and early voting starts 17 days before the official Election Day. So it's pretty soon, and the last day to register to vote is October 11th. So get your paperwork in because it's really important. We are currently, if you haven't been paying attention, in the highest inflationary period in over 30 years. That means gasoline's higher, groceries are exceedingly more expensive, and housing prices are through the roof. And if you think about it, who does this affect the most the most dramatically is children and families, especially children living in poverty. So an example of this being at a local school, they had to cancel their choir and band for the year because each student was required to pay $60 for a uniform in order to participate. And this fee forced 90% of the students to drop out for the year. These are the reasons why I feel so passionate about voting pro-Bitcoin. So before I learned about Bitcoin a couple years ago, I would say I was a pretty strong Democrat. But since it seems like Bitcoiners are more red, although not fully red, I've kind of shifted back a little bit more to just voting more pro-Bitcoin because I think it can have such a massive impact on all of the other issues that, align themselves on different sides. I reached out to Colin Allred, who's our congressman in our district, to see if he would discuss ways that Bitcoin can help reduce income inequality here in Dallas County. I haven't heard back, which is totally okay. I'm not surprised. But I do hope that people can understand why this really is a bipartisan issue. It's not a blue or red single issue that needs to take sides. I think it's more apparent for Republicans to say, oh, they're pro-Bitcoin because it is like this, it is a freedom money philosophy. But we were talking about this earlier. There's such a great draw for Democrats too to be a part of it because Bitcoin can bank the unbanked. It reaches a population that previously doesn't have much of a voice right now. And so I think it's just so important for education to get out there. There needs to be more of a, grassroots organization, I think, for Democrats to jump on board with Bitcoiners because they have so many of the same aligned, the same vision.
That's such a good reminder to get out there and get registered because those dates are going to start sneaking up on us. And you don't realize what an impact it has on everything trickles down, and the fact that our young kids are being impacted by the decisions that are made by people in office is a good call to action, I think, for all of us. So thank you, Becca.
Yeah, and another interesting fact is that SBF, who we've talked about before, multi-billionaire, he's donated tons to Democratic campaigns as well as Republicans, but mostly Democratic. And he's very pro-Bitcoin. And so I just love that there's this dynamic going on. There's lots of moving parts here. And I hope that more and more as years go on, it can just be an obvious bipartisan issue.
Absolutely. And right here in our backyard, Steve Kennard is forming a really good relationship with our mayor, Paul Volcker.
Yes.
And really highlighting the benefits of mining and Bitcoin. So we'll see how that plays out.
Very exciting.
Yes. So last week, Becca, you and I were talking about a majority of Bitcoin being hodled. And we started wondering, well, how much of that is actually lost? So according to my research, there's anywhere between 2.78 to 4 million Bitcoin that are unrecoverable. And this is due to several factors. Number one, people self-custody, they forget their address and or their seed phrases. Secondly, the devices get stolen, broken, or destroyed. That happened to me, by the way. I'll get back to that.
Appreciate
3,
your honesty.
reformatting your computer without backing it up, without backing up your wallet beforehand. 4, exchanges getting shut down, frozen, compromised. Mistaken transactions, whoops, you can send it to the wrong address. Can't really get that back at that point. So what do all of these factors have in common? Human mistake, human error. So let's look at the numbers. Right now, there are 19 million-ish Bitcoin minted as of right now. Satoshi holds 1 million in their wallet. Using 3.5 as an upper end average, lost Bitcoin accounts for almost 20% of the total pie. On this subject, Nakamoto wrote about irretrievable coins, and they call it a donation to everyone. The more coins that are permanently taken out of circulation, the more valuable the rest become. So what we're seeing is that the lost Bitcoin is actually increasing the value of the remaining Bitcoin on the network. Because it's infinitely divisible, lost Bitcoin does not harm the network as a whole. Furthermore, Bitcoin derives value from its absolutely finite supply, so every lost Bitcoin will slightly increase the value of the remaining Bitcoin in the network. Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
In sometime in the future, there will be 21 million Bitcoin. So think of that as a big pie. So if Satoshi holds 1 million and around 3 to 4 million are lost, that makes the cap 17 to 18 million. So you may be asking yourself, how do I keep from losing my Bitcoin? Well, here are some ideas. You want to self-custody with a hardware wallet. We suggest Trezor or Ledger. Also, you could consider using a custody service. So Voltavo is one of the trusted members of the TBC. They will keep your password safe for you. They'll hold your keys, and they can help you do any resets that you may need. Also, please don't forget, always write down your public and private key and put them somewhere safe. Putting them on your phone, keeping them on your phone, or keeping them on your computer is not going to work because they can disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So there are organizations that can help you find your lost Bitcoin, but they claim only 2.5% is recoverable. So it's the immutable nature of the blockchain. It's both a blessing and a curse.
Yes, I love this deep dive that you went on here because it really, I mean, everybody's like, oh, only over 21 million, or yeah, 21 million. And it's true, but really it's so much less than that. And it just, I mean, it really highlights the security aspect of Bitcoin too, because if Satoshi, was still alive, or, I mean, maybe they are, and whoever they are, but they are so committed to this project that they have over 1 million Bitcoin in their wallet, and it hasn't been touched in, I want to say, almost 10 years, which is amazing. Or it might be longer than that. Don't quote me on that. But just it is so secure. It's such a project that so many people believe in, and I think the more that we get out there, companies like, what was it about?
Voltavo.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that they were around. So. Very helpful company there.
I need to get their services because when I told you I lost my phone,
Yeah.
And when you're setting up your wallet, it prompts you. The apps will say, "Did you write this down? Did you put this in a safe place?" And it did multiple times. Of course, I'm just clicking through yes. Take a screenshot, And then when my phone was lost, I lost possession of that.
Man,
I know. Bummer.
It's such a learning curve because we're not used to this. No, customer service helpline or it just dinging back or something. I don't know.
Oh, I know, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to take some ownership of it and be responsible.
Yes. Something, yeah. I'm not used to that. If it's electronic, I think, there's always a backup, but that's not necessarily the case.
Not always.
Wednesday marked the 1-year anniversary of El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. And what a year it's been. El Salvador's Bukele has been leading the charge on what Bitcoin can do for a country. Previously, they only used USD. Somewhere in the 80s, they did away with their own currency, adopted USD. So now they have Bitcoin and US dollars. Since they have adopted Bitcoin, the price has been a little bit iffy and hasn't necessarily gone up. I think when they adopted it, it was at like 45, 46, obviously went up much higher, and now has dropped exceedingly lower. So Bukele's taken some backlash for that. However, he's been outspoken about the fact that they continue to stack sats. I think they've made about 10 big purchases over the last year. The Bitcoin experiment in El Salvador has proven that there is a way to reach the unbanked in an effective way. There is a way out of the traditional monetary policy that creates jobs and benefits everyone. Bitcoin has made such a big impact over the past year that banks are having to compete with Bitcoin in order to keep up, whether that's lowering interest rates or even reaching out to customers that maybe they previously denied. Peter McCormack talked about this on his podcast recently about how much the adoption has taken place over the last year. When he first visited, right after they made Bitcoin legal tender, he had to exchange for USD when he got there because he's Brit, so he used pounds for USD. And then the next time he went, he used a Bitcoin ATM and exchanged money that way. And then this last time that he went, he only used the Lightning network on his phone. And he said it was just amazing because he didn't have to think about money. You don't have to do all the exchange rates. It's just Bitcoin to Bitcoin. It's a very seamless process. And really over the last year, El Salvador has been incredible to watch. And I know that the year two will be even better. Yesterday, the mayor of Lugano, Switzerland, which I have no idea how big Lugano is, but they said they're excited to follow El Salvador's amazing Bitcoin journey. So it's just an incredible experiment to watch this all go down because El Salvador, they didn't necessarily need to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Bukele just decided like, hey, this is going to happen. We're going to do it. And their tourism too has just skyrocketed. They've made millions of dollars with tourists coming to visit. I think they had some type of Bitcoin, like, I don't know if it was an official conference, but all these Bitcoiners came and it's just been really fun to watch.
That sounds really neat. And at first, the El Salvadorians were a little hesitant to adopt it. They were kind of reticent, but it sounds like now a majority of them are using it, transacting with it, using the Lightning Network.
Mm-hmm.
How neat.
Yeah, I said on McCormack's podcast, he said that most companies and vendors there now just use Lightning. Wow. So it's definitely a learning curve. And I think they even had quite a bit of technical difficulty when they airdropped Bitcoin into everyone's wallets to kind of learn how to use it. And it was kind of a nightmare at first, but it sounds like it's picking up. And I hope we can go visit and see what it's like.
I can't believe it's been a full year.
I know.
That's crazy.
I agree.
It seems like it was not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies.
Yes.
Especially in the Bitcoin world. Some news from Voyager. As of Monday this week, an auction has closed for Voyager's remainder of their digital assets. The bidding began in late August, and we do know that FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried's organization, they made an offer that was supposedly discarded as too lowball. A hearing will be held September 29th to make the decision as to who will acquire the said assets. It looks like almost 300 million will be returned to the affected users in those assets. Those have been updated via email with their holdings breakdown, and they have until October to submit their claims. Voyager token, VGX, was selling at $1.07 earlier this week, up 38.92% in 24 hours. With multiple companies in the competition, this could make Voyager viable again. It looks like some are seeing some value in the company, though it seems a little risky to me considering they just filed for, they filed for bankruptcy back on July 6th.
Yeah, so recently. I do hope for the customer's sake that Voyager can get acquired and kind of keep running and doing what they're doing, but this is such a good learning experience for companies that want to grow fast instead of really hashing out fine-tuning the details.
Yes. I'd love to know, too, what companies are in the running who all is bidding on these
Right.
assets.
I wonder if they're all crypto companies or if they're like an investor from a different
Oh, good question.
department.
We'll have to keep our eye on that this week. Interesting. So,
Exciting stuff.
have you grabbed your ticket to the Texas Blockchain Summit yet? It is the premier event in the Bitcoin and blockchain space. We want to see you there.
Yes, we do.
Use our special discount code BTC4U. That'll get you 10% off your ticket price. Or better yet, become a member of the TBC so that you can get an even sweeter deal on your ticket price. You can also check out using PayPal, which means we can accept Bitcoin and Ethereum. The link to the Summit website is below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey, it's Amy with the Texas Blockchain Council. Thanks for watching. We've got more great content. Subscribe here. Like here. What am I even pointing at? Nobody knows. See you next time.